Donda, 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 Donda.
Ever since Donda dropped, people have been going crazy over it. Pitchfork gave it a 6.0. Fans on Twitter are claiming it's the best album of all time, or the best album Ye's put out in a long time. But how do other rappers feel about the album? Is it truly gonna shake the game up the way Kanye wants it to? Why is there so much industry beef involved in the situation? We're gonna be jumping into all that right here, right now on RIZZLE. Donda could be said to be Kanye's magnum opus, but it better be after getting delayed so many times. It's Ye's 10th album, named after his late mother who passed away after health complications following a cosmetic surgery procedure. The opening track is a chant that says Donda 58 times, one for each year she spent on the earth. It's also set to the rhythm of her last heartbeats. That should tell you something about just how intimate this project is for Ye. The album features 27 different tracks, featuring multiple part 2s for when Ye had extra verses that he didn't want to leave off the album. A lot of the criticism of the album does stem from the fact that the album is so long, leading some critics to call it bloated. A lot of fans are going completely the other way on it though, and explaining that this might just be Kanye's GOAT. One user tweeted saying, "I am literally shaking right now. I can't eat, can't sleep, I can't even talk without every inch of my body metamorphosing into the spiritual awakening that is Donda." That's pretty dramatic. Another major issue that came along with the album is the fact that not everybody got their part 2, despite having recorded verses for the album. The two big names who got left off of the finished project are Soulja Boy and Chris Brown. Initially, during some of the listening parties, there was some confusion about one of the tracks. Jail initially featured JayZ, and some fans were calling it the return of the throne, just like Jay claimed in the bars. Unfortunately, at the third listening party, it was revealed that there was another version of the track which had a verse from DaBaby. Instead of guessing that there would be two different versions of the song, fans assumed that JayZ had been cut. This led to tons of speculation that all that Return of the Throne stuff was cap. However, on the final cut of the album, there are versions of the track that feature both of them. That was the only thing that would finally quiet the rumors about Jay and Ye being at odds again. Maybe even as a result of Ye trying to get back with Kim, someone the Carters notoriously had issues with. Other controversial choices Ye made during the listening parties had rappers and fans alike talking about whether or not Ye had lost it. He lit himself on fire, brought out DaBaby and Marilyn Manson, both of whom appear on the album's finished version. Now, both of these figures have been getting some severe heat in the industry. DaBaby recently made some offensive comments toward the LGBTQ+ community at Rolling Loud earlier in 2021, and Manson's been accused of some pretty awful stuff by some of his ex-girlfriends and women that he interacted with over the years. Like, beyond people just calling him a Satanist. DaBaby's manager was more than a little upset about the claims being made, and said that he had no clue that the album was even being held up by the fact that DaBaby was on the track. His manager said that was all cap, and said he got the call later and cleared the track in just a few minutes. This is cap. "I woke up this morning to this social media bull," wrote Taylor. "I never got a call or email from Kanye West at _boo at John Monopoly. I just received it today and cleared it in 2 seconds. He also made a good point when he said, "Why wouldn't I want a hit song out when #SCMG is all about the growth and culture of hip hop and my artists?" There's no way that DaBaby was gonna end up sleeping on one of the biggest features ever, but not everyone seems to be happy. Soulja Boy seems to be pretty salty about it. He recorded parts for the album before it was released, which didn't make the final project. He was supposed to be on a track called Remote Control, even saying that Kanye was in the studio telling him about how great it sounded. It makes sense that he's upset, right? But, maybe we don't have the full story. Now he's talking all sorts of mess about Kanye, the album, and basically anything else he can think of. He also decided he was going to be on some of the biggest cap we've ever heard. He claims that, as always, Soulja Boy did it first by dating Kim before Kanye ever did. Now, we don't want to be too rough here, and Soulja Boy is still, doing his thing and all that, but how relevant is he these days, really? It's not like Crank That just dropped anything. Bro has literally been nonstop on Twitter, though. He made that claim about Kim. He talks about how he's gonna keep beefing with Kanye for the rest of his life. He claimed that Donda flopped even though it's been breaking tons of streaming records. He even went ahead and told Kanye that he needed to apologize to Taylor Swift for the VMA incident that was over 10 years ago now. While Soulja might have the right to be upset since he's been cut from maybe one of the biggest rap albums in years, his claims are just ridiculous. Soulja's even gone so far as to challenge Kanye to a boxing match, claiming that the two of them could make between $1 and $200 million. It started with a tweet saying, "I want to fight. Do you know how to fight?" At Kanye West. "I feel like you a Let's get in the ring." He also threatened to knock Ye out. He did try to defuse the situation just a little bit by saying, "That's just me having some fun, you know what I'm saying? We ain't tripping, man." Soulja says, "Unless Kanye wants to get in the boxing ring, you know what I'm saying? I think we could make 100 to 200 million. Cowboy, another rapper from Chicago, also started talking mess about Kanye after he confirmed that he also had a verse that got left off the album. Cowboy ended up replying to some of Soulja's tweets and leaking his verse from the album saying, "I'ma leak mine too. Ain't gonna keep running off of my sauce either. LOL, I'm not mad, just saying. Fuck y'all." It does sound like he's just a little bit mad though, we have to say. Chris Brown was supposed to have a track on the song called New Again, and at one of the listening parties it was obvious that Chris Brown was featured. But once the album officially dropped, the verse was gone. Chris Brown wasted absolutely no time hopping on social media to complain about disappearing from the album. He got on Instagram to say, "Kanye a whole in a story post." After that, he made another post saying, "Nah, he tweaking." So far, Ye hasn't responded. There is, however, a known issue that could have caused this problem from Soulja and Chris Brown. It's really a bigger issue for Kanye though. The label decided that they'd wait long enough for Ye to actually drop the album. After spending so much time tweaking the album in the stadium, doing all of the listening parties and doing his best to make sure everything was perfect, people were tired of waiting. Instead of waiting for Kanye to be done with the album, Universal decided that they were just gonna go ahead and drop everything they had. At first, there was one specific track left off the album, Jail Part 2, which featured Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. Maybe that was what pushed it over the edge. It makes sense that Universal wouldn't want the heat from including them on the release, but there were problems. Maybe one of the problems with the album's reviews is that the album wasn't supposed to be released the way it is in the first place. The album is long. Some of the tracks don't seem like they're all the way polished, and the reason for that is probably, Ye didn't get to cook up the final release. Universal put my album out without my approval and they blocked Jail 2 from being on the album, said Ye in a tweet on the 29th of August. He's obviously, not happy, and we can't blame him. This album is one of the biggest events of his life, and from Ye's perspective, the fact that his label screwed him over isn't gonna fly. The real point is, though, that maybe Soulja and Chris are overreacting. Instead of flipping out because they're not on the album, maybe they should have reached out to Ye and asked what was up. From what they say, Ye liked their work on the album, so why would he have just cut their tracks off? Now, just to wrap it up, you didn't think we were gonna get here without bringing up the Drake beef, right? The moment Donda dropped, bro started putting in some absolute work to make sure people know Certified Lover Boy is coming out soon. He's released the album art in addition to doing tons of promos. In fact, he even went as far as to put up billboards across the country in different major cities, announcing the features on the album. And now that Lover Boy has already dropped, and with the crazy good tracks and features on it, Ye and Drizzy are gonna be in for a big fight for the top position. What do y'all think though? Are Chris Brown and Soulja Boy right to be upset? Is the album worth all the praise that it's getting? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. And don't be afraid to leave a like. Also, make sure you go ahead and ring that bell so that you can get new rap news sent directly into your subscription feed. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, don't forget, keep it RIZZLE.